Hello, and welcome to Season 2, Race 15. I have 122 My Team Career Mode. We are here in Monza for the Italian Grand Prix where we have qualified P5. Um, an interesting mix up in the top 10. The Ferraris and the McLarens are up there, of course. Us in P5, then the Red Bulls and the Mercedes just behind. Take a look at the rest of the starting order. Teammate Nico Hulkenberg qualified P11. And then the championship standings, Charles Leclerc is my closest challenger, 43 points behind, followed by Max Verstappen, Carlos Sainz, Lando Norris, Lewis Hamilton, George Russell, Sebastian Vettel, and Daniel Ricciardo. And that is how things look for the starting grid for the race. Of course, we'll see if there are any grid penalties that shake things up. It's always a possibility. All right. Weather cloudy to start, but it'll get better as the race goes on, so no threat of rain. Looking at the R&D progress chart, McLaren edging ahead, Ferrari closing in. Red Bull, Mercedes a little bit as well, though we do have upgrades that are in development. So, actually, let me go back. What is being in the pipelines? We got being in the pipeline. Aerodynamics, chassis. Okay, let's go to, well, I guess. I guess going with durability is always good. So we'll go there on that one. And yes, we do have. So basically, every upgrade except the one I just got should be in before Singapore. We'll see if that actually happens. But I think the next set of upgrades will probably be aerodynamic related because that's just what's available here. We have a lot of them that we can get. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. No commentary as per usual, and I hope you enjoy the Italian Grand Prix from Monza.
It's time for the Italian Grand Prix once again, here at the beloved and iconic Autodromo Nazionale di Monza. With the lowest downforce and drag of any circuit in the season, expect to see drivers making the most of the slipstream effect here today. We're 12 miles northeast of Milan for today's Grand Prix at a Monza circuit where we can expect top speeds of around 215 miles per hour. 11 corners on this 3.6-mile track, with 7 of those coming in the form of chicanes. And with a good slipstream and DRS open, there should be plenty of opportunity for some passing here today. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, with Daniel Ricciardo slotting in alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Sainz, Golden Boy, and Verstappen, Norris, Russell, Hamilton, and Fernando Alonso, Hülkenberg, Gasly, Valtteri Bottas, and Mick Schumacher. Albon, Tsunoda, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Esteban Ocon and Kevin Magnussen. Oscar Piastri, Joe, Latifi, and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And alongside me once again for coverage of today's race is none other than the great Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Golden Boy. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
It's been a really solid year so far. There have been some incredible standout performances, but what's really impressed me has been the consistency. With this kind of form, I'm expecting another great race today.
Here we go then, the formation lap gets underway and the excitement here is building as we near ever closer to the start of the race. Which team will come out on top? Who's got their strategies right for today's race? Well, we'll soon find out. As the cars come back towards the grid to line up for the start of the race, each driver will be wanting to get the best start they possibly can. And they'll be hoping to finish today's race on the podium, and failing that, within the points.
VRS is being enabled this lap. We can use VRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. We're increasing our gap on the car behind by around a second a lap. Right, keep pushing. You're gaining on the car ahead. Okay, be careful. I think you're going to start losing some tyre grip any time now. We're approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hard next time. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 12.1 seconds. Okay, the pit window's open, so let's box this lap. Box this lap. stand by. We see a problem our end and we're looking into it. Okay, stand by. We see a problem our end and we're looking into it. Okay, looks like a mechanical failure. We're going to have to ask you to find a safe spot to retire. Sorry about that, mate. Looks critical. Find somewhere to retire as soon as possible. We can't risk you carrying on with this race, I'm afraid. Okay, we have a severe engine issue. Find a safe space to retire or return to the pits. Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap. Copy that. Hards next time in box.
And it looks like the pit crew are out in the lane and ready to perform their magic on the car. They're going to be aiming to achieve the fastest pit stop time possible.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track. Okay, looks like a mechanical failure. We're going to have to ask you to find a safe spot to retire. Sorry about that, mate. repeat, find somewhere to retire the car immediately. It's too dangerous to stay on track.
That's a fantastic performance from Ferrari. It hardly looked in doubt. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there. So let's review the driver's standings. Despite the best efforts of our championship leader, that lead has taken a bit of a knock today. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
Well, my driver of the day has to be Charles Leclerc. He was unstoppable out on the track today, weaving through the competition with ease.
Let's move on to the constructors. Ferrari continue to extend the gap at the top of the table. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today as they make their way up the standings. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action, and I can't wait to see what's next.
Well, that was an abbreviated version of the Italian Grand Prix. I guess I sort of should have known that we were, due for a DNF, and I guess this was it. So, not much else to say, really. Thought about doing the thing I did in Belgium, but I don't know. I just decided to take the DNF now, so it won't happen maybe later in the season. Charles Leclerc wins. He was going to win anyway. He was too fast for me today. Sebastian Vettel gets second. Lando Norris gets third. Carlos Sainz fourth. Russell fifth. Verstappen sixth. Ricciardo seventh. It looks like he had to make a second stop. Maybe he had to try a different strategy, or he had damage or something. I'm not sure. Lewis Hamilton 8th. Pierre Gasly 9th. And my teammate Nico Hulkenberg did score a single point in 10th place. Constructor standings, Ferrari 16 points ahead of Red Bull, Mercedes in third, McLaren in fourth, we fall to fifth, now 21 points behind McLaren. So there's that. Driver standings closed up as you would expect. Charles Leclerc leads now by 18. Or no, I lead Charles Leclerc by 18. Max Verstappen's behind by 36. Norris behind by 46. Sainz behind by 48. Lewis Hamilton is 67 back. Sebastian Vettel moves up to 7th and is now 83 back. George Russell is in 8th. He is 89 back. And Ricciardo is in 9th, and he's 102 back. So, any of the top 9 can still win the championship. It's very possible. Some more so than others, but that's how things are looking after a disappointing end in Monza. We did get to level 20. I think our next sponsor, where we can get that 5th sponsor slot, I think that's not until level 25, I want to say. But yeah, so that's where things stand as of now. And there are, let's see, Singapore, Japan, U.S., Mexico, Portugal, Brazil, Abu Dhabi. 7 races left, I think. Oh yeah, thanks for giving me no points on that. That's great. What was the? It was the turbocharger. So let me go to durability turbocharger. Our reliability is pretty good on the turbocharger, but hey, I guess we were due. Alright, activities. We have a lot of time to the next race in Singapore, so I'll check corporate. Yeah, like just as I thought, level 25 is when we unlock a sponsor number 5. So there's that.
Okay, we've had the new parts come through the fabrication process. We'll have them with us for the next Grand Prix.
Alright, marketing department.
We need your input here. Not an easy choice, I know.
I guess Charles is, our rival right now. He's closest in the championship, so there you go.
Thanks for dealing with that. The department appreciates it.
And we've got news that Fernando Alonso is going to be retiring. So last year it was Sergio Perez. This time it's Fernando Alonso. Surprisingly, Sebastian Vettel's still on the grid. While we're at it, we'll go to the R&D section. That aero upgrade came in. We'll go with the rear wing main plane, which will come in after Japan.
Our new parts have completed without issue. They'll be on the car, ready for the next race weekend.
Alright. Big fan of the song. Some decent tracks in this game. But yeah, that's it for the abbreviated Italian Grand Prix. I'll see you next time for the Singapore Grand Prix.